Hello everyone, my name is Kanika Soni and I will going to present Kesavananda Bharati case, which is the most important case in the judicial history of India. Now we will going to understand the facts about Kesavananda Bharati case. The full name of Kesavananda Bharati case is Kesavananda Bharati versus State of Kerala. This is a landmark judgment given by the Supreme Court in 1973. It is the longest running case in India. Till 68 days, the proceeding held in the Supreme Court of India and 70 plus constitution of the world has been compared to the Indian constitution. The longest judgment is given by the court is almost about 703 pages and largest bench is of 13 judges. And this case was went at the ratio of 7:6. Now we will going to understand the background of this case. When India got independent, the state which was divided on the basis of linguistic basis, on the basis of language, on the basis of culture. So every state intended to develop their social and economical condition. For that, they want to change the concentration of the wealth of which they can change the existing laws. Kerala was the first state to introduce Land Reform Act in 1963, which restricts the citizen to own the land. It was introduced to rebuild the zamindar system, land ownership and tenancy laws. Now, what is mean by land reform? This act restricts the ownership of the land, which is basically restricts the right of a property to the citizen. By using this, the Kerala government acquired the Edenid Mutt of Kasaragod district. Because of the acquisition of the land, the income of the Mutt totally get affected, and the head of the Mutt, that was Kesavananda Bharati, challenged this act in the Supreme Court, and in March 1970, Kesavananda Bharati filed a writ petition in Supreme Court and said that Land Reform Act violates the fundamental right of the citizen, that is such as the Article 14, Article 19F, Article 25, Article 26. Basically, it violates right to property, which was fundamental right during the time of 1973 and which was later abolished in 1978 by 44th. Three organs of the government, that is executive, judiciary and parliamentary. In this case, parliament and judiciary fought against each other. That's why it became the landmark case of the Indian judicial history. Article 368 gives ultimate power to the parliament to amend the constitution and its any provision. But on this statement, Supreme Court disagrees totally. In this case of the Golaknath versus State of Punjab, in which the court ruled that Parliament could not curtail any fundamental right in the Constitution. After that, Parliament introduced 24th, 25th and 26th Amendment to Act to remove the restrictions set by the three amendments, which were 24th, 25th and 26th, in which we will understand these three amendments in a very detailed form. 24th Amendment Act. This act gives Parliament the power to amend fundamental right. It can amend any provision of the Constitution. Second, that was 25th Amendment. The right to property can be curtailed and government can be restrict on the right to property of the ownership, and government can use private property for the public usage. For the compensation will be decided by the parliament, not by the court. 26th Amendment Act, Land Reform Act put under 9th schedule because if any law Cause under 9 schedule cannot be questioned by court. That is, not by Supreme Court, not by High Court, not by District Court. After the Land Reform Act, court immunity of this act cannot be questioned. Here's the question come. Basic questions of the amendment. Can Parliament amend the fundamental right? If yes, then which provision of the Constitution is allowed to amend the largest constitution of the world? Can Parliament amend the fundamental right? That is the first question. Now we will understand this question on the petitioner side and respondent side. On the petitioner side, power of the Parliament under Article 368 is limited. Fundamental rights are protected, the citizens' right. Amendment Act curtails these citizens. On the respondent side, Parliament has unlimited power and has the absolute power to amend the Constitution. Parliament has a power to restrict the fundamental. Now, here we goes by the judgment of the Supreme Court. In this case, there were 30 benches of the Supreme Court, which is the largest bench of the judicial history. Ratio of the majority was 7:6 in Kesavananda Bharati case. This case overruled the Golaknath versus State of Punjab case. 24th Amendment held valid, in which the Act states that Parliament can amend any provision of the Constitution. The Supreme Court said that under Article 368, Parliament has an absolute power to amend the Constitution and any provision of the Constitution. Question 2. What is the extent of the Parliament power? In this, Supreme Court has given a very clear and crystal verdict in which Parliament cannot interfere with a basic feature, which means Parliament can amend any law, but they cannot interfere with the basic and essential features of the Constitution, and this is called basic structure of the doctrine. 25 and 29th Amendment Act held valid. The Supreme Court said that if there is a law which has put under Article 9, but it violates the basic structure and features of the Constitution, then the law of judicial review and challenged in the Supreme Court. That means that if any article put into the Schedule 9 which violates the fundamental right, basic features of the Constitution, then the court and the citizens of India can challenge that provision in the Supreme Court and held for the judicial review. Amendment done according to the cases. This is a basic thing. On 24th April 1973, the landmark judgment introduced a basic structured doctrine. This is indicative feature was given. Case by case, court will decide the basic feature and it will depend on time to time and challenges of the Constitution. Which means that if any case need amendments, if any provision of the Constitution needs amendments, then according to the passage of time, the provision will be changed. The amendments will take place. Importance of this case. This case SC, that is Supreme Court, shows its creativity. It also safeguards the basic right of the citizen. It provides basic features of the Constitution which cannot interfere by the Parliament. It gives ultimate power to the Parliament, but it cannot interfere with the basic features of the Constitution. At the end, Kesavananda Bharati loses the case, but the acquisition of their property under 25th and 29th Amendment, which were held valid by the Supreme Court, the property goes into the hands of the government of Kerala, and this judgment came on the 24th April 1973, which is the landmark judgment of the Indian legal history. Right to property was abolished in 1978 under 44th Amendment. Later, it converted into the simple legal right under Article 300. Thank you.